Here's what you missed on Phathead and Cande in the morning. Weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on My Country 96.1.
My Country 96.1, Phathead, Cande Roth. We're looking at rain and then possible wintry mix later on this afternoon into the evening. Could drop below 32. Be careful. A little icy, a little snow, a little rain. We don't know what's going to happen, but kind of a wet day. So
a day to make soup. That's what I'm going to do today.
If you can, if you're afforded that lifestyle like Cande is, make some soup.
Yes.
Most normal people have to go out and earn a living, but Candy's going to make soup, watch her soap operas.
Am I not earning a living?
You are, just during the day anyway.
I'll be the small one. Am I not?
Oh, you know what? But I shouldn't be one to talk, because here's a guy who, other than, I told you already, took the kids around, had a nice day, Abby and Elijah, a lot of tennis this weekend with the kids and Leah and everything. But I did watch a lot of my new show on Hulu, Big Sky.
I've got to watch it. But do you know what I did see yesterday? It was fabulous. Because of the death of David Crosby, I went and watched a documentary that Cameron Crowe produced that came out, I think, in 2018. Remember My Name, it's called. Unbelievable.
It's about him.
Brian sat through the whole thing, too. He was like, wow, that was really good.
Let me ask you a question, because if you go look up the history of David Crosby, I'm not trying to downplay him. He was a very huge artist.
Huge.
But if you look at the songwriting of the Byrds and Crosby, Stills, and Nash, sorry. If you look at who wrote the songs, he didn't really write the big hits. It was Stephen Stills, Graham Nash wrote most of them.
The hits, yes, but he wrote Wooden Ships. There's Guinevere. I mean, come on. Guinevere,
no, he definitely had a few. Most of the Crosby, Stills, and Nash hits were written, I believe, by Graham Nash.
It's an amazing story. A lot of ups, a lot of downs. He comes. I hate to say he comes clean at the end, but he says, I was a terrible person. And anyway, it's really, if you're a Crosby, Stills, and Nash, or a Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young fan, you definitely want to see it. Remember My Name.
I mean, I remember, 20 some odd years ago, Melissa Etheridge choosing him to be the donor for her children was as big a story as anything in the world. Yeah,
it was huge. I still can't believe it.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
Big.
Now, getting back to your other stuff, what kind of soup are you making this afternoon?
I am going to make a soup with white beans, carrots, celery, and a little chicory, a little green.
A little trickery?
Chicory. It's a green. It's like escarole.
I thought you were putting a little something in there for Brian. A little trickery.
Hey, a little trickery in there.
All right. That sounds nice and delicious.
I love homemade soup. Yeah.
Yes, I am completely into the show Big Sky.
I got to watch.
So, originally recommended by my father-in-law, and then when we were talking about it last week, my father confirmed that he and my mother watch it, and I guess it's still going on. The season, there's a current season on ABC every week.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
From what I gather, I think, or whatever the case is. But it just keeps you going. I mean, a very fun show that I think I'm getting to the point where it's starting to jump the shark just a little bit.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, it's getting a little convoluted and crazy at this point.
Remember how good Lost was at the beginning in that first season?
I never watched Lost, Cande. Never.
That first season was riveting. I couldn't wait for the next week to come. It was so good. I said, this is the best show I've ever seen. And then they jumped the shark, and then you're like, what?
Yeah.
And after a while, I said, I just can't watch it anymore.
Well, that happened with Manifest, you remember?
Yes, it was so good that first season.
Not even. It was like the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, and then it went haywire.
Yeah. So this is funny. This is probably over a week ago. I just forgot to tell you. I'm on Netflix, and I see Manifest is now on Netflix.
I saw that too.
So, as we've just discussed, the two of us watched Manifest when it was on regular TV, episode by episode each week. And the first episode was great, hooks you in, right? And then as you get to like the third, fourth, fifth episode, you're like, what's going on? This is just stupid.
Now.
This
I
is
believe
stupid.
a lot, but this is becoming ridiculous.
Right. So I was searching Netflix for something to watch, and I came upon Manifest. I said, let me watch the first 10 minutes just to see if it was as cool as, So I'm watching. I'm expecting to go watch the whole first episode. I watched the first 10 minutes, and it was cool. The disappearance of the play and the whole thing, it was cool. And then I shut it off. I literally watched the first 10 minutes, and I shut it down. I'm like, all right, I've seen enough. That was...
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, it was... there are a lot of shows like that.
It's like The Godfather on last weekend. 1, 2, and I don't know if they had 3 on. I see a scene, I love it. I go to something else, I come back, another good scene. I don't sit through it anymore. I just go for the scenes.
I understand. I do.
What a movie.
Cande, today's National Handwriting Day. That is a lost art,
I never was good at it. My handwriting is not good.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Yeah.
I'm not a good in penmanship. Do they even have penmanship
no,
anymore?
I don't even know. I write things in script, and my kids are like, "What's that?" What God. Yeah, it's like hieroglyphics. I mean, they don't even know. It's crazy. And today is National Pie Day, Cande.
What kind of pie?
Well, I guess it could be anything, right? It says fruit pie, berry pie, cream pie, but I guess, could be pizza pie. Maybe if you want to make it pizza pie, you could, I guess. But it's National Pie Day, really.
Right.
Do you like berry pies and stuff?
I love blueberry pie, yes.
Yeah, I don't, blueberry pies are. Pecan pie, I love.
I'm not a fan
pie.
of apple pie.
No.
People love apple pie.
No.
Don't like it.
Me neither.
Lime pie, don't like it.
Yeah.
People rave about that. I don't know.
Yeah,
Chocolate
Dana loves key
pudding
lime.
pie is really the best.
Mousse, chocolate mousse, yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
Now you're talking.
Why not? Some good news stories for you. A 10-year-old girl in Rhode Island, Scarlett D'Amato, sent a letter to her local police asking for DNA tests to prove that Santa is real, of course. And they actually helped her out. She included a half-eaten Oreo and some carrots that were gnawed on
This is
by...
a very smart girl.
Yes, and they were left by Santa and the reindeer. The results were still pending, but they got all the additional evidence. They got security camera footage of a reindeer in the area that they showed her.
Oh, that's
and
huge.
Eyewitnesses placing the man in red clothes on the night of December 24th. So the police are telling her they have a person of interest, and they're doing the DNA test for her. So I think that's great.
What town is this?
It's the local police in Rhode Island, somewhere in Rhode Island.
I have to move there.
Yeah. A 3-year-old in the UK just became one of the youngest people ever accepted into Mensa.
Wow.
Three.
Wow.
That's the high
hard to
IQ
deal
group.
with.
As you know.
I'm glad I don't have any geniuses like that.
Yeah, we're all glad we don't have geniuses, Cande. Great way to talk yourself into it. Sorry your kids weren't geniuses.
I'm quite happy they're not geniuses.
He taught himself, this 3-year-old taught himself to read by the time he was 26 months old.
Oh, my Lord.
Please stop.
And I'm applauding that, Maeve is sitting in a high chair. I'm like, oh, my God.
She's holding her head up steady.
Oh, my God. Right.
And this kid, who's 3, can already count to 100 in 6 languages.
In 6? Which
yes,
neither of us can do.
No, I
age.
can hardly count to 100 in our regular language, Cande.
Wow.
And a town in Maine just approved a 5-year-old girl's permit to keep a unicorn in her yard if she ever finds one. Los Angeles County did the same thing last month after a 6-year-old applied for a unicorn permit. So, listen, if you ever find one, go get that permit from your local town hall, Cande. It could,
Hey.
Yeah.
I love that. A little unicorn in my yard.
Yeah, could you imagine?
So cute.
Tilly and the unicorn bouncing around. Yes. All right. Enough of that nonsense. Cande, have a great rest of your day.
You do as well.
Enjoy that soup you're gonna make.
I will. I love homemade soup. Really, there isn't a soup I ever met that I didn't like.
I know
And
it.
especially this time of year.
Yeah, and we're going to have a bunch of precipitation, a little wintry mix later possible. So just be on the lookout as you're driving, especially the commute home where the temperature could drop. Thank you to Ryan and Amanda, our incredible producers. And reminder to head to Mulcahy's website, moles.com, to grab your birthday show tickets. Dylan Scott, Danielle Bradbury for March 21st. We also have Parmalee coming March 9th and Chase Rice June 23rd. A big bunch of shows on their way, already on fire at Mulcahy's. Let's hit the roads. My Country 96.1.
Phathead and Cande in the morning, weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on My Country 96.1.